Oh no! The female convicts. The beautiful blonde female convicts. They're running away. Oh, what's that? No, she's releasing monsters. Oh my goodness. And I'm just standing here. Not for long. Welcome everybody. Get ready to switch things up. We're playing Way Forward's Mighty Switch Force. Okay, Mighty Switch Force. I'm only doing that because that's how they do it in the title.
Mighty Switch Force.
This is a clever little indie game released for the Nintendo 3DS back in the day, 2011, but there were actually 2 games before it that released for DSiWare. That's right, Mighty Switch Force is not the first in the Mighty series. There's also Mighty Ducks, different series. Mighty Switch Force is cute, it's fun, and it's novel. I think this represents the key charm of indie games and released in a very interesting era. I really like Way Forward's story, kind of. I did a little bit of reading up on them, and they've been around since even the Super Nintendo and Genesis days, even if it was in a minor role. But you're not playing a minor in this game, you're playing Police Officer Patty Wagon, short for Patricia, as she brings the hooligans to justice. I've never called a female a hooligan in my life, but no time like the present, eh? So, what I like about this game is the mechanics. There's a couple simple ones. So, Patty has her ray gun that she uses to fire at the monsters, but then she also has this switch force mechanic where she switches layers of the level. So you see the blocks, some appear, some disappear. If one is appeared, then it will disappear when you press the button, and then vice versa. When you rescue all the hooligans or get them back, you get rewarded with artwork of them in provocative poses. Don't really care to talk about the sexual nature of it, but I do. I don't know. I used to care more about that kind of stuff, like, oh, yeah, this is tacky, but honestly, I don't really care anymore. What are they going to do? They're going to replace it with, like, dogs, you know? Like, I don't know. Or, like, burlesque, ugly hooligans. Like, I don't know. I mean, that could be cool, too. But, nah, I don't think it's worth, like, having an argument over. At the end of the day, you know, people like to look at things, so here you go. This is less so just a platformer than it is kind of a puzzle game in a sense, though, because you have to be very intentional about how you use this mechanic. It starts off very simple. There's a total of 16 incidents that compose the game, so this is 2/16 of it. This is already like 12% of the game. But it does get much more challenging the further you get into it. Not to the point of being overwhelmingly difficult, but I do think it keeps you on your toes. I think you'll really see that when it comes to like incident 3 and 4. So here we have the switch mechanic being used to elevate Patricia to higher levels where the hooligans are hiding. And you have to be very intentional about the timing. Right now, it's pretty handleable. It's manageable, rather. If you end up pressing the button at the wrong time, Patty just goes fly into the front of the screen and destroys it. It's actually one of my favorite animations in the game. It's really intense. There's 3 hearts here, so if you take damage from some of the monsters, they will also cause you to have a more difficult time in progressing through the level. It will restart you from the beginning of the stage if you lose all 3 hearts. That's not true, is it? I don't remember. I think you get like 3 lives or something, or each one would cost you a heart. But anyways, so you have to play the game pretty well, and they really spread out the hooligans through different challenges. So right here, I just had to do some vertical escalation to shoot down a block. There was one that was hiding up here that I couldn't figure out how to get, though, and even now, I'll come back to that one later. But this is where that puzzle element comes into play. So, you know, I also don't want to neglect the jumping element of it, but really, it is about the switch mechanic, because, you know, I think it's one thing you can easily forget when you have kind of a run and gun type game, is that there's this other tertiary mechanic, and even now I'm using it to time when these bombable creatures are walking to blow up a block so that I can capture another hooligan. And then they have different types of blocks too, like these ones propel not only the monsters but also Patty in meaningful ways. Meanable ways? Yeah, very mean ways. I wasn't a fan of them. Shoutouts to the background. I like the moving train. That's pretty cool. But I just like that even within this one level, like every hooligan is a separate challenge. You know, I am a puzzle platformer type of guy, so I can appreciate a good one when I see one. There's quite a few of these games, and they play with the mechanics in interesting ways. Supposedly, the second one is more of like a firefighting type of game, so that could be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. But I do enjoy this game for what it is, and it's quick, and it's readily available on the Mighty Switch Force collection. Just take a quick look. I believe it would be on all modern platforms, but I have it on Xbox, and you know, I played through this game in probably maybe it tops an hour and a half. And I do think it won't leave you unsatisfied. I'm not talking about the pixel visuals of these ladies in scantily clad garb. I'm talking about the gameplay. As far as the garb, it might leave you unsatisfied. I don't know you.